Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 50 Shades of Tay. I'm Taylor Gonzalez, and my guest today voices Apocalypse in season 9 of Marvel Rivals. I'm so excited to be joined by Terrance Addison. Terrance, how are you doing today?
Hey, how's it going? Doing great. How are you?
Oh, good, thank you. Thank you so much for being here, especially now that we are at season 9 of Rivals. I cannot believe we're already at the ninth season.
I'm happy to be here. I'm currently at my beach. It's very hot where I am, so you know, just glad to be a part of the the Marvel Rivals universe. It's such a popular game. It's so much fun, and a lot of my friends are huge fans. They play all the time, so it's been really cool.
It is, I think, my favorite video game at the moment. I play it every single day and I'm just addicted to it. And I love all of the new changes that are coming, all the announcements. Jubilee is such a fun character and I love playing healers as a support. So I'm glad she's coming in as a support. And the new map looks incredible. Like everything they announced the other day, I am so excited for.
Yeah, and I'm excited too. One, because, Jubilee's the Apocalypse, or she's a member of Apocalypse's Horsemen now. But also, I'm the same way. I love the healer class. I love the supporting class. Those are the ones who really help win games.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. What was the audition process like for Apocalypse, and what kind of research did you do to prepare?
So for this specifically, it was more of just, when I got the audition, I saw who it was, I guessed what it was for. And as far as research, there really wasn't much because I love X-Men, I love Apocalypse already. So it was more of just put on a voice that you feel suits the character, and it's still me. And then I just jumped right in.
That is so cool. I love the way your voice sounds in the trailer. I've watched it so many times just because I think it's such a cool idea too, to have like an Egyptian themed battle pass and season. The music was so great when I was watching that live stream and it kept playing the music. I was like, I could listen to that loop all day. So what a fun, exciting season to get to join for Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, it's incredible. I watched the trailer just like everybody else did, right when it hit on the live stream, and I love how it turned out. Yeah, usually I don't tend to rewatch stuff that I'm in because it's weird hearing your own voice sometimes. But I mean, man, it's Apocalypse. You kind of have to, right?
Yeah, where were you when you got the news that you got the role of Apocalypse?
I was sitting on my couch playing Street Fighter. Honestly, it's a big game. I love playing Street Fighter, but I just happened to be playing Street Fighter, and my agent called me and started playing back my audition into the microphone. And I was like, what are you doing? I remember making those sounds. I remember doing that voice, but I didn't know exactly what it was for. And then he's like, you booked it. And so it was really exciting. I lost that match in Street Fighter because I paused to answer the phone. But yeah, super exciting.
Well, I would say the trade-off is worth it to lose a match of Street Fighter to get to be such an iconic character in Marvel Rivals. For people who might not know who Apocalypse is, this is one of my favorite things about Marvel Rivals is there's like younger and younger people playing, and also people who maybe didn't grow up with the comics and the movies and the TV shows that are getting to learn about characters. How would you describe Apocalypse to people who are just discovering him for the first time?
Uh, I would say, he's the very first mutant, right? He's the one that started it all, and he's, in my opinion, one of the coolest characters in Marvel, in X-Men. He's a villain in most scenarios, but realistically, I feel like he's more of akin to someone like Magneto, where he believes in what he's doing. He believes what he's doing is good or right for mutant kind. And so, while he might be a villain to some, I think a lot of people might be surprised to know that he's kind of like an anti-hero. He's doing what's best for mutant kind and what he thinks is the right way to do things. Um, my my take on the character is usually from like what I've seen mostly is from villainy because I grew up with X-Men, the cartoon in the 90s. X-Men 97 is now out. He's kind of a bad guy there, and a lot of video games when you play, he's the villain. So for my world, he's been a villain, but there's a lot of different stories. There's so many different comics and interpretations. It's really cool. Um, Apocalypse is awesome. I think if you've never seen him, now's your chance, even though he's dead. But yeah, it's just I think Apocalypse is super cool. Um, it's one of the I think one of the best characters in Marvel.
Yeah, I think he's incredible. And I cannot wait to see more of what's going on with that storyline, especially because they announced that new mode where you're kind of going to, investigate and solve the murder of Apocalypse. I think that's such a cool, unique gameplay experience that they're adding to Rivals. I love that they're constantly adding new things to try out. And I play zombies all the time. I play the vampires all the time. It's just so many fun things are constantly being added, and all the skins, of course, all the skins. I pop all the balloons. I'm addicted to adding all the latest skins. The summer skins have been so cool this year. Are you playing currently?
Uh, no, I haven't played yet, mostly because of time. I do worry that I'll get hooked on something like this and just be playing all the time. Um, but I am looking forward to trying this detective mode to kind of figure out who killed Apocalypse.
Yeah, I have my theories. As soon as I saw that sword, I was like, okay, okay, this looks like it could be belonging maybe to Gore the God Butcher, but you never know. It could
Yeah,
be a curveball, could be somebody else, but I think that's going to be a really fun game mode. And the map, just that map when it was showing off in Phoebe's, the Jubilee like gameplay trailer showing off her unique move set, seeing that map, I was like, oh man, we're getting closer and closer. I think that one comes out the following week. So I cannot wait to play on that new map.
yeah, yeah.
That'll be awesome. But like you mentioned, Apocalypse is often shown as a villain, and I think he's such a great villain. What to you makes a good villain?
Honestly, my favorite villains, uh, similar to Apocalypse, is like Magneto. I think there's something really cool about a villain who believes in what he's doing and believes that what he's doing is for the betterment of his own people. I think there's just something really fascinating about someone who is truly thinking they're doing good, but they kind of live the ends justify the means type of role, and so a lot of times they are looked at as the villain because they just kind of do whatever it takes to follow in whatever goal they have. And I
Yeah.
think Apocalypse is very similar to that.
Yeah, it's interesting when you talk about that. It reminds me of Thanos because to him, he doesn't see like what he's doing is wrong, and he thinks, like you said, the ends justify the means. But it's just like, man,
Yeah, he's another character I really like. I think there's just something cool about a guy who or a character who goes for what they want and they believe in what they're doing is the right thing. Um, I think it's just really interesting from a character's perspective, and it just makes villains. I don't know. I think a little bit more fleshed out when they have goals like that.
Mhm. Completely agree. So since Apocalypse is often referred to as the first mutant, I thought I would do a round of first questions. Do you remember the very first video game that you ever played?
The very first video game, it was probably Mario Bros. On the NES. I'm pretty sure I went to someone's house, maybe it was my cousin or something, and I tried that game out and kind of got hooked on video games after that.
Oh, that is a great one. My first video game was Super Mario N64, and I got hooked on video games with that also. The N64, man, I would play that thing 24/7 growing up.
It is the N64 is one of my favorite consoles. It It's the home of one of my favorite games of all time. And yeah, I love it. I still have my N64. I still play it every once in a while.
Man, I need to get one. I need to get like a refurbished one or something because I know you can like download the digital games now, but it doesn't beat like getting the cartridge, blowing on it, putting it back in, and having the man, everything about the N64 was just so fun.
Yeah, yeah, I love it.
All right, do you remember the very first CD you ever purchased?
I do. Man, these questions are going to date me, but my first CD that I ever purchased, on my own with my own money was Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory. I was a big fan of that band growing up in high school and everything like that. And I remember when I would get off work, a buddy of mine and I would drive like 40, 50 minutes south to go to this store called Tower Records, and they just had a ton of CDs, and that was the first one I ever bought. But yeah, big fan of old school Linkin Park.
Ah, me too. I went to so many of their concerts, and do you remember when they released like a shoe line? It was like a collaboration with like Nike or maybe Vans. I even got like the Linkin Park collaborated shoes.
Uh,
Yeah, I used to love them so much.
yeah, big fan.
All right, what about the very first movie you ever saw in a movie theater?
In theaters, man, that I actually can't remember the first, but I will say the first that I can remember seeing in theaters was The Matrix. That was a movie that I remember going to the theater, going to see that, and coming out of that movie really confused because I was very young, but also intrigued. And so I remember seeing that movie a couple times in theaters before it kind of went out of circulation. But yeah, that was the first one I could really remember.
Oh, that is an awesome one. All right, and last of the first questions is, do you remember your first concert?
Funnily enough, I have never been to a concert.
Oh,
I am 7 feet tall. I tend to uh, get anxious about like going into spaces where I could interrupt someone else's fun. So I never go to big events where I could be seated somewhere where if I stand up or whatever, I'm blocking someone's joy. So no, I've never been to a concert.
all right, all right. Well, one day, one day.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Apocalypse has been portrayed in several different series and movies so far. How did you create your own take on his voice?
Um, I don't know. Like with when it comes to the voice, it was more of like I saw the audition. They said deep and powerful, and so I just kind of went for what I thought that was. Um, I definitely avoided trying to imitate or reference any of the other Apocalypse characters or actors because, I kind of wanted to do my own thing. And, I'm happy with how it turned out.
That is so good. Did you have a favorite line of dialogue to record?
Um, I want to say probably the right before they stabbed me, where he says in the name of Apocalypse. I just think saying Apocalypse sounds really fun. It's just really cool, and I just really like how it turned out. Until of course, they stabbed me.
Apocalypse is an incredibly powerful mutant, and some of his powers include telekinesis, telepathy, and teleportation. If you could have any one of those powers, which one would you want to have?
Probably teleportation because, um, being as tall as that I am, it's hard to travel. Getting on planes, getting in cars, stuff like that. It would be nice to just think of a place and get there. So I think I'd go with teleportation.
I think I would too, because I am terrified of airplanes. So if I could just teleport from place to place, that would make my life so much easier. I feel like my fear of flying is going to hold me back from, missing things in the future. So if I could just teleport, I wouldn't even have to worry about it.
Right? Yeah, that'd be fun.
So I know Apocalypse has some really cool Hasbro figures, and there's Funko Pops of him. He's on a lot of really iconic covers of comic books. Do you happen to have any Apocalypse merch in your collection yet?
No, I do have a pretty expansive toy collection, but I primarily collect Dragon Ball, Power Rangers, and Ninja Turtles. Um, so I don't have any Apocalypse stuff yet. However, if they ever design a version of the Marvel Rivals Apocalypse, I will absolutely get a version of that, whether it's an action figure, a Funko Pop, or whatever, and I definitely will display it in my office.
That'd be awesome because I know they do have a line of Marvel Rivals Funkos. I think there's like Penny Parker, Venom, uh, Apocalypse would be awesome. I know they have a X-Men, I think it's the X-Men 97 Apocalypse Funko, or it's from the original run of the series, but he's just such a cool character, cool design. I love his whole backstory, all the lore about him. So any kind of merch they want to make for Rivals, whether it's like a blind bag or a keychain, I am all for it.
Yeah, it'd be fun. It'd be nice to have. I don't have many figures made of voices I've done, so that would be really cool.
I also did want to ask you, how did you know you wanted to become a voice actor?
Um, it was years ago. I was playing Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation for the very first time, and I just remember sitting there playing this game, watching these cutscenes, and hearing David Hayter and the others, and I was just like, man, that's really cool. I would love to do something like that because at the time, of course, I've heard voice acting. I watched cartoons. I've watched movies. There's other games that have existed, but that was a game that just really changed the landscape of voice acting in video games. I think it was the first time I really was wowed by voice acting. And so ever since then, I was like, okay, this is something I would love to do. It would be really cool to be in video games. It would be really cool to play a part of, someone's childhood, someone's growing up. I think the way those actors portrayed those characters, it really shaped who I am. And so I would love to have that same opportunity and do the same thing for someone else. So yeah, Metal Gear Solid for sure.
That is so cool. If there's somebody who's watching this interview right now and they themselves also want to get into voice acting, but they're not really sure where to start, what advice would you give to them?
I'd say probably Google how to be a voice actor or I want to be a voice actor. I'm sure there's a ton of resources there. But as far as new talent and those who really, think they want to do something like this, I say do it because one, you'll never know what you can achieve unless you try, and two, if it's a dream, you follow your dreams because I guarantee you can achieve those dreams. I'm definitely living proof of that. I started only 3 years ago. My 3 year anniversary is actually this month. But I think it's been one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done. It's so cool to see my name in the credits of things. It's really cool to see, how the fans uh, enjoy or even sometimes hate what I put to the table or bring to the table. Um, but like if you truly think it's something you want to do, I just think you should do it because um, you'll get so much out of it. Whether it's you do it as a hobby or you do it as a career, it's just I've never not had fun in the booth doing this. So
I think that's incredible advice. And that is so exciting that for your 3 year anniversary, you get to be the voice of Apocalypse in Marvel Rivals. Very exciting. Congratulations.
yes, thank
And
you.
Terrance, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to talk all things Apocalypse with me. If people want to follow you and keep up with, everything you have going on, announcements, events, stuff like that, where's a good place for people to come and follow you?
If you're on Twitter, or X as they call it nowadays, I'm at Cinderkin, Cinderkin. That you can find that name on a lot of gaming sites and like if you play Xbox, you can follow me on there. If you play PlayStation, Switch, it's all the same name. Steam as well. As far as following, I just created an Instagram account this morning, so you can follow me there at Terrance Addison Actor. I'm also on Blue Sky sometimes as terranceaddisonactor.com. but yeah, I'm not huge in social media, but I'm always around if people want to chat or nerd out about things.
Very true. Well, thank you again so much for being here. Congratulations on the game again, and I'm gonna go play as Jubilee and try and solve the mystery of who stabbed you.
Thank you so much for having me, and yes, enjoy Jubilee, and please let me know who took me out.
All right. Have a good day and enjoy the beach.
See ya. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.